Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be doing a brief tutorial to show you how I make myself disappear and reappear in my videos. If you want to check it out, all you have to do is come along with me. Okay, so the first part of making myself disappear or reappear is actually going outside and recording the footage. We're going to cut to that right now, show you what is required of it. Then we're going to come back here to the studio, edit it, put it all together, and show you the final result. So let's get started. Hey guys, so those of you who have been asking, how do I make myself disappear or reappear? I'm going to show you what it takes to make that happen. It's actually very simple. The first step is doing the filming part of it. We're going to do that now. I'm going to explain what I'm going to do, and then we're going to go into the editor and splice it together. So in order to make myself appear or disappear, I basically need to film two shots. I need to film my shot with me not in front of the camera, and then I need to make myself be in front of the camera and blend those together. So I'm going to set you guys down and explain what I'm going to do. So right now you guys are down on the ground on the tripod, filming straight ahead. And the way this has to work is that the camera can't move, and you don't want any movement in the distance. It needs to be pretty still, almost like a still photograph. I'm going to let this roll for about 10 to 30 seconds. And I'm not going to do any talking. I'm just going to let it roll and pick up the natural environment. And we'll do that right now. Alright, now that we got our static footage, I'm going to go in front of the camera now and do whatever I decide to do. I'm probably going to crouch down and then stand up and walk. And what I'm going to do though is do it twice. I'm going to show you two different ways that you could, two examples as to how you can make yourself appear or disappear. So the rest of it you're just going to watch, and then we'll be back in the studio and put it all together in the editor. So now I'm going to stay here for a few seconds to give me time to blend it in. And I can either stay here, or in this case, I'm going to stand up and walk towards the camera. Now that was to make myself appear. Now I'm going to make myself disappear. I'm going to stand up, walk the other direction, and make myself fade out. So the hard part is done, the filming is done, and depending if you want to make yourself appear or disappear is going to depend on where you put the static footage. If I want to make myself appear, I'm going to put the static footage first. If I want to make myself disappear, I'm going to put the static footage at the end. Now let's go back to the studio and put it together. Welcome back. Now that we know what it takes to record the footage, let's bring it down here to the editor, play around with it, and show you what it takes to make yourself disappear or reappear in one of your videos. Alright, so now we're looking at my editor, which is Filmora. I've been using this for several years now. I'm using version 8.7.6. There are newer versions available. This is the one I like to use the most. And the great thing about Filmora is it's very user-friendly, great for beginners and amateurs. A lot of great features, special effects, and more importantly, it's very affordable. I have an unlimited version, and I get to do whatever I want, receive free updates, download different installments and features, and make my videos look the way I want. So definitely recommend checking out Filmora. So the first thing we have to do is import our media file. Got it right here. There's the one you just watched. We're going to drag it down to the timeline. The timeline is where you're going to be doing all of your work to the actual file itself. It's where you could cut, you could crop, you could add transitions, adjust the color, stuff like that. The additional lines here are for overlays if you want to add a photo or B-roll footage on top of the main video itself. You got text, music, and all different options here, but we're not going to get into that. We want to focus just on the timeline to edit our video. So what we're going to do is scroll to the area where we have that static footage, where it's just sitting there recording, no sound except for the natural ambient sound. and no movement. So we're going to let that play here. We'll let it go for, we'll say 8 seconds here. There we go. That's good enough. We're going to cut that. That way it's its own individual file right now. And now we're going to get to the point where I was kneeling. So we're going to scroll. And right there looks pretty good. So I'm going to make myself fade into that spot. And this is how we're going to do it. So I'm going to choose the designated point. So that's just going to be an example here. I'm going to splice this. This part we're going to leave here because we're going to use it again later, but you don't need to worry about it right now. These two is what you want to focus on, the first and second clips or files right here. What we're going to do is go to transitions, and it's under basic. The one I use is called dissolve. And all I do is I put up to 3 seconds. And in order for it to play back smoothly, there's a little button here with the dots around it that is a render timeline. It basically pre-processes the footage. That way when you do preview it, it plays nice and smooth with no interruptions, no glitches. So we're going to wait for that to go through a second here, and then we'll preview it and show you what it does. Okay, so we're going to play it now from the beginning, and around the 8-second mark, we're going to see the transition take effect. And there we go. I fade right into the video there. And that's where I started doing the talking.
Here for a few seconds.
So we're going to do one more thing. I'm going to cut that and trim it. And now I'm going to make myself stand up here and make myself walk off into the distance and disappear. So I'm going to pick a designated point. So obviously I want to stop it before I reach the turnaround spot. So right around there looks pretty good. I'm going to cut that, get rid of the rest of it, and now I'm going to copy my static footage and put it here at the end, because now I want it to fade into nothing. So again, we're going to get dissolve, put it down here for 3 seconds. We're going to render it, which should take only a second here. It's a very small section to render. There we go. And now let's play it, and it should show me standing up, walking away, and dissolving into nothing. And there you go. Pretty effective, pretty cool, and pretty easy to do. Now if you want to kick it up another notch to make it a little bit more cinematic, give it a little bit more attention to it, we can add a sound effect. There are preloaded sound effects on here. You can also download your own. The one I like to do for stuff like this is called the transition whoosh. And basically, we'll put it over here for this one. It's going to give it a nice sound effect when I fade in and out. See those wavelengths in the middle where it spikes up in the middle? You want to have that meet right in the middle. Now just to show you too, this transition can be put either after or before. But in order for this to work effectively, you have to put it right in between, almost like a band-aid, to cover up the two clips there. So transitions lined up. Let's play it and see how it looks and sounds now. There we go. Makes it pretty cool. So right now I'm going to export it, which is the final processing of it to make it into the MP4 file that I would then upload to YouTube. So once I export it, I'll show you the final product, and we'll wrap it up from there. Okay, so right here I have my fade file. It is finished processing and exporting. I'm going to make it full size here, and we'll watch it here. So there's a sound effect where I fade it right into it. And now it's going to cut to the next scene
for a few seconds,
where I'm going to walk away and fade off into the distance. And there you have it. So that was a look as to how I make myself appear and disappear in my YouTube videos. Very simple, very effective. I think it's a pretty cool effect. I came up with the idea myself, and all the editing I do, I've taught myself. I have no training. I didn't take any classes or any type of special mentor thing from getting learning or taught how to do these things. I taught myself. Pretty much practice makes perfect. Learn from your mistakes. Occasionally watch a YouTube video here or there to learn some other tricks of the trade, but for the most part, what I do is very simple, very effective. I'm by no means a prolific editor. I do what I need to do just to get the video to be a little bit of an attention getter, but not over the top. But I don't do many of these videos. Pretty much this is my first one, I think, because there's two reasons. One, on YouTube there's actually thousands upon thousands of tutorials out there on how to do different types of editing. Number two, I don't do them because there's people out there that do it much better than me. I'm not being down on myself, but I don't do a very good job at explaining or demonstrating things. I like to leave it up to the professionals. But what I do is very simple, very effective, right to the point. Hopefully you understood what I was able to teach you here. Again, in order for it to work, you need to make sure that the footage, the static footage, does not move. And the camera needs to be stationary, no change in the scenery. As long as you get that footage there, and when you blend it in with the other one, it'll be seamless. As you can tell, there's very little movement except for a couple of branches or leaves. But that is the most important thing. If your camera shakes at all, you're going to see it. If something changes in the background, you're going to see it. So as long as you have a stationary footage and make yourself blend at the right moment, it'll work. Now, this won't work for every single editor out there. Most of them it will work, though. As long as you have the dissolve feature or something close to it, like a fade, it will be effective. Now, I came from Windows Live Movie Maker, which is a very simple, free video editor. It used to come on Windows computers. You can't really do something like that there as easily or as effective. That's why I do like Filmora. But if you guys want to see more tutorials or have other questions about editing techniques such as going in reverse, slow motion, stuff like that, I could definitely make 1 or 2 more videos. But again, there's thousands of great videos out there where people do explain and show you how to do different techniques in your videos. So if you did learn anything from this or happen to enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, I encourage you to check out my playlist. If you like what you see, subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be alerted whenever I upload new content. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.